Hey guys, welcome back to CheatSheetPros.com. Today we're going to take a look at some player props and prize picks for the NBA and for the college slate tonight. Today is March 1st, 2022. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to run over about 5 NBA plays, and then I've got about 6 college plays that I'm looking at, and I'll let you know which cards I bet. As always, we open up the NBA cheat sheet, and we have our points, rebounds, assists, points, rebounds, assists. We're going to sort points, rebounds, assists from high to low, and we're going to find differences between their current projection, which is what most of the player prop lines are, and their average over the last week. These are going to show differences that we can go look at those players and determine if we like them or not. Also, the last 10 game DVP stats we have over here, and their minutes versus projected minutes. So we're going to flip down here, and I'm going to show you a couple guys that jumped out at me, and then we're going to go to prize picks, dig in, and then we're going to flip over to college. So looking at the points, rebounds, assists up top, Kuzma is someone that I want to take a look at. He has a decent spot tonight. He's been on fire recently. We're going to look at Cade Cunningham. When looking at him, his points are the ones that jump out here. The 0.6 and 0.7, not much of a difference, but 4.2. So he's averaging 4.2 more points over the last week, which is 4 games versus the 16 he's projected. So we want to take a look at his points prop. Jaden McDaniels wasn't up. Bogdanovich wasn't up. Schroeder, if he does come up, I want to look at his assist. Right here you can see he's projected at 4.2. He's averaging 8.5 over 4 games. So if his assists show up, that's one we want to look at. Lower minute player, Russell's another one we want to take a look at. Across the board, what I see is minus 0.9, plus 0.9, so I don't care about these stats. I'm purely focused on his points, where he's projected about 4 more. So he's at 17.9. He's averaging 21.8, almost 22, so he's someone we're going to take a look at. And then coming down the list, you can see we have a few different players. Nito is someone, he doesn't play a lot of minutes, so you got to be careful, but his assist, he showed up as plus 2. So rebounds and assists, you don't get a huge difference, so you got to pay attention to the small bumps. So he's projected at 4.4. He's averaging 6.5, so that's one we want to take a look at. And then you can kind of scroll down here and you kind of get the picture of what we're going to do, especially if you've watched any of our other videos. And then we also come over here to the DVP tab, and we can see what the teams have done. Points, rebounds, assists, points, rebounds, assists, and how they rank as a team. And then we've got each individual position, how they break down. So we also use that when we're digging up some plays. So we want to keep this video short, sweet, to the point. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first guy we're going to take a look at, it's not JY. So let's look at Kuzma. So points I originally looked at here, he's been over this in 4 of the last 5. He's been on absolute fire. He's someone who tends to go up and down. He's got 70 points over the last 2 games. So over 21.5 makes sense. I also like his points, rebounds, assist over, just because he does have the ability, when he doesn't score points, he does pull down a lot of rebounds, and he's got 49 and 51 over the last 2 games, so he's also skying over that number. So either one of those is good. I went with points, rebounds, and assist for the card that I went ahead and bet. Moving on, Cade Cunningham is the next guy, and I want to take a look at his assist. That's the one that really jumped out at me. And so he's got 4.5. Now he's consistently been 6, 6, 6, 6. And he did have a 3 against Boston, but he's over this quite often. So I like him to go ahead and continue that and go over the 4.5 assist. D'Angelo Russell is another person we want to take a look at. His points prop, he's been averaging almost 22 points per game, and that's mainly been over the last 3 games. So that average you see on your screen of 21.8, that includes an 8-point and 18-point game on the 15th and 16th before the All-Star break. If you look at the 3 games since the return, he has 37, 21, and 25. So let's see, it's 50, 58, 68, 78, 80. So that's about 27, 28 points a game. So he's skying over this number. So that's someone that we want to take a look at. Moving on, Nito assist is one that jumped out on the sheet, and they actually had him up. His assist number is 4.0. You can see he's had a couple massive games recently. He had a 6 and a 9 spot, so 15 assists over the last 2 games. So I like him to go over 4. And again, I love the 0.0 because 4 gives us a push. It doesn't hurt us. But he does have a couple 3 games, and he's a low-minute player, so that's something that you got to be careful of. One of the other plays that I really like that you don't see is over here on our Daily Fantasy Sports. You see our player labels. We have a diamond play that shows up here, and this is Zubac. So taking a look at Zubac, he's projected to play about 25 minutes, and that's about what he averages, but a huge DVP spot here, and we're going to take a look at that. And then he's got a couple huge games. So over this last, see, 6 games, he's got 3 games that are 6x, and then 2 games in that 4.5 to 5x and 1 dud game, but he's in a great DVP spot tonight, and he's someone that should show up really well. You can see his fantasy point per minute is 1.2 on the season, and he's up to 1.29 over the last 5 games, so he's got a 9% increase. So taking a look at that over here, you can see the very top spot is going to be to, oh, look, where'd I go? So the very top spot is going to be the Clippers going up against Houston. They're giving up the most fantasy points at 250.9. I mean, that's 50 more points than what Golden State's giving up. And the centers, it's the best spot on the slate you could be. And big men in general over the last 2 weeks, they're 30th and 29th against them. They're 30th in points per game allowed, 20th in rebounds per allowed, 20th in assists, and then points, rebounds, and assists, they give up 196.1, which is the absolute most. So it puts him in a dream spot tonight for his 25 minutes. And you can see here, points and rebounds, what they're giving up to the center is huge. Almost 28 points a game, 17.3 rebounds, and points, rebounds, assists of 47.98. We'll just say 48. So a really good DVP spot. And then down here, points in the paint, Houston gives up the most at 56.8, which is 47% of the total points they allowed. So that also has a prime spot. So I like Zubac tonight, and when I look over here at his different stats, you know, he's kind of up and down, and, you know, what do you want to go with? I'm going to go with points, rebounds, and assists over 23.5. You can see here in the last 4, he's got games of 32, 30, 27, and 24, and that 24 was against Houston, so he's already played them once and went over this number, and in tough matches against Phoenix, well, actually, he's played Houston a couple of times. The last time he played him, he had 32. So since he's played him twice already, he has 24-32. We expect him to go ahead and go over that number again, especially since he's a diamond play in DFS. That's someone we always want to take a look at. Now I want to go ahead and flip over here to college basketball. So these are a lot of fun to play. I'm trying to think of what we put up last night. I can't remember. I know we had one guy under 5 rebounds, and he had 8 in the first half. So that was kind of funny for me to look at. And then the UNC, I think it was a guard, a point over 14.5. He had like 24 points or 20 points like by the mid-third quarter, so he flew over. The other guys, honestly, I can't really remember. I did so many cards, I was just kind of like, all right, whatever happens, happens. So let's go ahead and take a look at 6 players here tonight. So we have Cario, however you say his last name. And what I'm going to look at here is points over 15.5. I love this prop. Look at the last 2. He's got 55 over the last 2 games, and he's consistently 14, 18, so right around that number, but 26, 35, and 20. He's all over that place. Now, it is a tough matchup against Tennessee because I love Tennessee tonight, but it is a prime spot for him to go. So, Cario, let's take a look at his points. So, the prop we have is 15.5, so how many times did he get 16 here? So, he's got over, under, over. So 7 of the last 8 games he's been over this number. And matchups haven't been real tough. He did play Auburn and Florida. Those were a little bit tougher. Florida again. And he's getting over that number, so he's someone that we like to go over. He's actually one of my favorite college plays to go over. And the other one is John Hugley. And we had his points prop over. So it's 14.5, and you can see these last 4 games. He's got 20, 18, 18, and 21. So he's cruising right now. He's averaging almost 2 full points over this. And then looking at his game logs, he's got 20, 18, 18, and 21 over these last 4 games. And I don't know what changed, but he's really started making a lot higher percentage of his field goals. So, and he's got some big games down in here that he played. So he had a 17, a 15, a 23, a 19. So he's someone that we like to go over for Pitt tonight. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guy. The last points guy we have is going to be Drew Peterson. And so his points over 14.5, it popped for me. We got 20, 23, and 27 in 3 of the last 5. He's also been over this in 4 of the last 5. And then when we go over here and we take a look at his game logs, so let's see, the line we have here for him is 14.5. So how many times did he go over 15? We got over, 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 just missed, over. So he's been over in 4 of the last 5. And then he had a string of games here where he really struggled. He was 1 for 13, 1 for 6, 1 for 4, and then 14, 16, 23. So he was doing decent, and then he kind of went down, and now, he's getting hot. 9 of 13, 6 of 11, 6 of 14, 6 of 15, 9 of 17. These last 3 games, he's also taken a ton of field goal attempts, so we like him with USC to go over 14.5 tonight. That's a pretty solid play. And then I've got an assist one that popped up when I was doing my research, and it's Jamal Sneed over 6 assists. So looking at this, he's averaging 7.6 over the last 5, and that includes a 3-point game. But over the last 4 games, he has 11, 7, 9, and 8. So once again, what we like about this is it's 6.0, so 6 gives us a push. So really, we're only looking to see how many 5 and less games he has. He's doing really well right now, so that's someone that does pop. So let's go ahead and take a look at his game logs. So assist, I want to just glance down here and see how many times he had 5. So he's over, 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 over. He was under here, and then way over here, he had 12 assists that game against SMU. And then he had 6 there. And then he had a string of unders here where he really didn't get there, but some of these games he only played 17 minutes there. He played 20 minutes there. He only played 5 minutes there. And then he played 35 minutes, had 7, 28 minutes 4, 40 minutes had 6, 35 minutes had 10. So what I like about this is, one, he's been over it in each of the last 4 games, and he's got the ability to go way over this number, like this 11. I mean, he's pretty much almost doubling it. So that's one that jumps out at me. And then I got a couple rebound ones I want to take a look at. And how did we spell this guy's last name? Christian Braun for KU. Rebounds over 6 jumped out. So he's been over this in 4 of the last 5. He's averaging almost 2 rebounds per game more. And he has 10, 7, and 11 in the last 3 games going up tonight against TCU on the road. And then, let me see, I did pull his game logs. And as far as rebounds, so the number we have is 6. So we like 6. 6 is a push. So we've got over, 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 under, over. So he's been over this in 4 of the last 5, and 2 of the last 3, he's averaging 9 to 10 rebounds per game. And then, let me see here, he had 8, 0, and 10. So he's getting what was our number? I lost at 6. So 1, 2, 3, 3 and 1, 4 and 1, 4 and 2, 5 and 2. So he's 5 out of 7 over in recent games. So we like Christian Braun to go over 6 rebounds tonight against TCU. And then the last guy to wrap up our video is going to be Keeve Aluma. Not sure how to pronounce his last name, but we like his rebounds over 7. So you can see he's been over this in the last 4. He's averaging a rebound and a half more than this a game. I love the 10 and 10 the last 2 games. That's heavily over it. So we got 10, 10, 9, 8 the last 4. And then we went ahead and pulled up his game logs because I wanted to see what his rebounds look like. So our number we need is 7. So he's over, 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 over. So he's got 4 straight overs. And then he has 3 unders, a push, and then 3 more unders, and then over, over, over. So he's been kind of up and down, but I'm going to try to ride this hot streak here of 8, 9, 10, 10 over the last 4 games. And I am going to take Keeve Aluma over 7 rebounds. Now, what I did for my personal cards, I'll go ahead and give you that because I throw a lot of plays and some people don't really know what to mix and match and put together. So, one, I went safe. I just took Kuzma and Zubac, points, rebounds, assist over. I did a 2-man power card. I don't mind adding the Cade assist and D'Lo points if you want to go to 4. Nito is fine, but he's a low-minute player, and I'm going to try to kick him out. In college, I like the Cario over 15 points. I mean, he's been over that in 7 of the last 8 games. The Jamal Sneed assist I like, and then Christian Braun rebounds I also like. So I did Cario, John Hugley, and Jamal Sneed. I put those on a 3-man card, and then I did one with Braun, Keeve, and Drew on another 3-man card. So that's what I'm running tonight, guys. Good luck.